Hey, welcome, Carm 3D on the tube. Happy Saints Day. I'm filming this on November 1st filming, and of course this is Saints Day, All Saints Day, and this is the day that the saint comes out and see if he sees his shadow and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to touch on a little more compositing in this video. I rendered this animation, and as you can see, it's definitely a work in progress. I just made a little turntable spinny view for my client, but I forgot one thing, and it's not a big deal. Normally I wouldn't bother because this is a work in progress, but I forgot the reflections on the rear window. And since I do see this as a nice opportunity to show you more about compositing, I will go ahead and fix that. And so this video is about how you can fix your renders with compositing. Alright, so let's look at what we got here. I'm happy with everything except for the window. So I'm going to go in my service editor, and I'm going to look at my van object. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to render a separate render pass where it's just the reflections of that rear window, and then we'll composite them together. And this is a little more complicated than you can do in just Lightwave, so we're going to have to use a real compositor. So let's turn all of these colors off. I don't know if you know this, you can right click on the RGB here and it turns into hue, saturation, and value. So I just drag the saturation down to 0. And I'm going to turn the specularity off, and don't need smoothing. Alright, so I'm going to copy this, paste, paste, paste. Everything's going to go black on the model. I copied one by accident. Okay, this one, that's the window. I want that to have smoothing. I do want it to be black, except I want 20% reflectivity. So you can see it popped up with the reflections there. Alright, everything else, let's see. This window is going to definitely reflect the horizon, but it's going to be way on the distances from the camera's view of what it sees, so shadows will not be an issue. So I'm going to turn the shadows off. I do want to keep reflections, of course. Let me select the other objects. I got the platform selected. That's this guy right here. And I'm going to tell him to be matted. I click on matte object, and black is what I want. Same thing for the blocks. Matte, 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 matte. And I think I'm done here. Let me just do a test render. It came out like that. It's close, except I forgot about the ground. I got the ground selected. This time I'm not going to matte him because I want that to be white. I just don't want it to be visible in the camera. So I'm going to click on Unseen by Camera. And render again. Okay, we're close. Now I can see the ground. That's the ground right there, that little bit of stuff at the bottom there. But I'm seeing the background reflection image in my background. That's not good. I want that image to be affecting the scene because that's what's reflecting in the window. Maybe if I put this on a different frame it'll be more obvious. Let's try that one. Well, hopefully you can see that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into compositing options, and I'm going to put a black image in the background to blacken out that view of this probe. This is the probe here that's in the background. So I'm going to say load image. I'm going to choose this black image here. And now when I render, that's it. All we got is the window. Let me just double check that I I am indeed seeing the reflection there. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to render this out, and then I will see you in the compositor. Okay, we're back. This is Vision. It's by Ion, and you may have heard of Fusion. Fusion is what they use to composite all their top Hollywood movies these days. Well, not all of them, but a bunch of them. And Vision is like Fusion's little brother. It's got all the basic same features, except the Vision's gone 3D these days, but Vision's still 2D, but it's got all the basic features except that the main difference is Fusion has floating point color, whereas Vision has 16-bit color. But either way, they're both, more color space than your basic JPEG, so it's nice. Of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, another video, not right now. So, let's look around here. I just learned this new feature of my screen recorder. I can pan around. So here's a node assembly space here, and then up here we have two windows for showing previews. So let's import some renders. Okay, let me turn on force source tiles so we can see. Okay, so here's our node for the original render, and here's another one for that reflection on the windows thing I did, and here's another one I did that I'll cover in a bit.